can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, and the world's alright with me, I just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
یه موقعیت خود دشمن خود یا دیگه نشون باید ما رو یا خود یا
I just say, take us to the going out there. I'm
Atlanta, yes, right next to Tokyo. So, okay, so I will let you know.
morning prayer. I could turn to the part where you're doing it.
Here, I have this.
Efficient.
I have this here.
Ooh, ancient.
Where would you say, Bar was?
It's in the very beginning.
There.
Poggy L. How many Poggy L's are in there? That's it. You're done. See you later.
And then, you should have preheated this.
Oh, please.
Just kidding.
I think no, it doesn't shut off. You never want to plug it in.
Yeah, and then leave it.
Here, let's do it real quick.
I have a little box stabbing my armpit.
Me too. Oh.
Yeah, but you could actually lift it up.
I know. You want to take that off?
What, the phone?
Yeah.
You can't.
Oh, you can? Can I?
No.
Oh.
You have to save it for the thing.
What about during my speech?
Oh, you could take it off during, after
After the Torah reading, right?
the Torah. Yeah, it's just because that's not the actual Bar Mitzvah. I don't know if we say Shema.
We might. I don't know.
Amen.
Amen.
Brother,
Here.
say Shema.
Oh, you want to ask him who says it? After he's done.
Should we say Shema? Shema, Shema. In one? Okay. Oh, what's happening there?
Don't ask about that because it ain't right.
Yeah, what's going on? What kind of reasons? You can have the ears. Doesn't come different. Half an hour late. That's how we do it.
That gives us a Shema.
It's fine, that's fine. Mine's just that's it.
Kom wel, is er een hele manier om vast te leggen hoe het gaat. Die nou je weten van
See? I'll give you the cue.
Come on.
Say it loud so that
I'm not good at this part though.
I
don't know.
I'll do it with you. We can do it together. Yeah.
We're on page 42. The Bar Mitzvah is going to say the Shema and the V'yahavta loud.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivon Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'hayu avarim ha'ele asher anochi l'sadecha hayom avevavecha l'shinatam bevavecha l'dibarta bam l'shitecha v'vetecha uvtecha v'derech uv'shoftecha v'kumecha uvshantam leot al yadecha ve'uletatafo beinecha uvtaftam amizad beitecha uvisharecha. No.
I'm okay.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Take this back. I'll be here.
We gotta turn the mic on. thought you were trying to just stand there.
Hmm?
I just thought like you're trying to sit like just stand there.
Totally. I got nowhere else to be except the sauna.
Just go for it. Leaves like marks on your arm.
You know?
Right. Did you say the Shema?
Yeah, sort of. But the way I say it is a little bit different.
I know. Two ways.
The way I do it is a little different. The way I say it, the tune is a little different, so I don't want to throw you off. You know? But mine's the same as yours.
Yeah. I'm sure too. That's when I read it slow.
They really want to see mine too, but so they can hear everything we're saying right now. So they can hear everything we're saying right now? We did not know that. Labrim? Yeah, you should have told us that. They're waiting for the people.
Repetition is on
to fill in.
45. Page 47 is shaded area. Nagisha B'nari
Kielcsében közvetlenül nyugodtan, hogy van valaki, hogy van az is végül, ki hát, és mehet, hogy az volt bevonsa, tartikai, és mely hát, hogy filla. Tehát ez mi van, hogy szóljuk, hogy szóljuk, hogy a fények küldte, ha végség szóljuk, szólnak, hogy van, hogy szóljuk, hogy a példaszik szóljon, hogy ezek az önnek, még az úgy, hogy én rá, még maguk hát tartikai, a hátat, és a szépen.
Amen. Made him enough. Justin. We honor Justin Tao to open the ark. Give it a thumbs.
Open it and then tell me what you do. Okay. Yeah.
Even Sahara, Ayam Moshe, Kumadinai, Yavutsu Elecha, Vianusu Misanecha, Mipanecha, Ki Mitziyain, Eitzei Seira, Ki Mitziyain, Eitzei Seira, Lulvar Adinai, Mirushalayim, Baruch Shenasan Torah Torah, Baruch Shenasan Torah Torah, Yama Yisrael, V'Yidush Hasai. Jacob's going to read now on page 61 the prayer that begins with "Blessed is the name."
Blessed is the name of the Master of the universe. Blessed is your crown and the place of your majesty. May your goodwill ever be with your people Israel. Show your people the redemption of your right hand through the rebuilding of your Beit HaMikdash. Bestow upon us your beneficent light and accept our prayer with compassion. May it be your will to prolong our life in well-being. May I have be counted among the righteous, so that you may have mercy upon me and protect me and all that belongs to me, and all to your people Israel. It is you who feeds and sustains all. It is you who rules over all. It is you who rules over all kings, and sovereignty is yours. I am a servant of the Holy One. Blessed be he, before whom whose glorious Torah I bow. I do not at any point in time put my trust in a man, nor God. Nor do I put my reliance on an angel, but only in the God of heaven, who is the true God, whose Torah is truth, whose prophets are true, and who performs numerous deeds of goodness and truth. I put my trust in him, and I utter praises to his holy and glorious name. May it be your will to open my heart to Torah and fulfill the desires of my heart and the hearts of all your people Israel, for good, for life, and for peace.
Amen. Okay, let's take out the Torah. Justin.
Do we need this?
No, we need that. We don't.
On this side?
Yes.
got it?
גדול אדינוי תלרבוש מיחדו.
והגבורה והתפארת והנצח והאי יחיו בשמיים ובארץ. אדוני הממלכה והמשתעשע לחיים. Ishtachavu v'harekadoshai Iktadai Adonai Eloheinu. Slowly, Rav Manzon, Paramah, Vincent, David, Elohim, Torah, Rasanim, Ramein, Hakil, Holigel, Elohim, Torah, Tero, and Campaign, Yahamaid. Hebrew name? Aaron ben
Avraham.
Ben Avraham Yisrael ben Kom.
For now it's good.
Aaron ben Avraham Yisrael ben Kem Baruch Shana Sam Deir Olam Yisrael B'Dushasei Vatem Advekim Badino Yelichem Chaim Kulchem Hayim.
Yeah. Here you go. I have.
Torah reading for today, the Bamidbar, can be found in your siddur on page 548.
Take the pointer.
And
Right.
it's all yours. You're ready to roll.
Yeah.
Say the blessing.
One second. Show him. Before it starts.
Here?
No, he's over
Okay.
here.
And then
Don't be nervous.
Close it.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Amarach L'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Go.
Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe b'midbar Sinai be'ohel moed b'echad lachodesh hasheni b'shana hashenit letzetam me'eretz Mitzrayim lemor se'u et rosh kol adat b'nei Yisrael lemishpechotam levet avotam b'misbar shemot kol zachar legulgelotam mi ben esrim shana v'amala kol yotzei tzava b'Yisrael tifkedu otam letziv otam atav Yaharon veitchem hiyu ish lamate ish oshavet avotav hu.
Really beautiful.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Close it.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'chaye Olam Nata Betochenu Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Yamai. Matutyahu ben
Chaim.
Chaim Sheni. Nishaberach Havasein Avraham Yitzvak Yivorech et Aaron ben Avraham, right?
Yes.
V'avu Sholach v'na Makom Lodat Teril v'et b'no Bar Mitzvah. Schar Zakash Baruch Yishvarei v'yatzleim kol tzara v'tzukov v'nekol nagam machala Yishlach bracha v'atzlach v'chol masiyad v'kol Yisrael achav Mar Amen. Nishaberach Havasein Avraham Yitzvak Yivorech es Aaron ben Avraham. V'avu Sholach v'na Makom Lodat Torah v'chod Chagigas Bar Mitzvah. V'avur sheb'lineder yitin l'dut'eh v'es. You want to bless your...
Yes. Avraham, Sarah, Moshe, Sapphira, Micah, Eli, Chaim.
These are, what's their name? Their parents' name.
Oh.
It's Avraham ben
Achron.
Aaron. There's Sarah. What's
Ben.
her father's name? Sidney's
let's see.
father.
Yeah. Sydney. Sydney's father. Sydney.
One second. Sarah is who? Is this daughter of Sydney?
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah Bas Sydney. That's Moshe ben Mitchell.
Avraham.
Ben Avraham. That's Sophia
I
Bas.
don't know. Micah.
Oh, it's this way.
No, that's fine. And then these
One
Ben.
second. Jessica's. What's Jessica's father's name? Or Sophia's father's name?
No, just listen.
Mika, Eli, and Chaim.
Yeah.
Avur Shabli Neder, Yitain Litzdaka Bavaram. Beschal Zagra Baruch Yishbrei, Yatzim Kol Sarah Zunag Machla, Slabrach Maslach Masel Kol Sarah Chavana Mar. Amen.
Amen.
Second Aliyah. I think he's going to show you where to kiss it.
All right.
There.
Baruch Hu es Adonai Hamivarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamivarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Barak Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Es Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Nosein HaTorah.
Amen.
ואלה שמות האנשים אשר יעמדו איתכם, לראובן אליצור בן שתיאור, לשמעון שלומיאל בן צורי שדי, ליהודה נחשון בן עמינדב, ליששכר נתנאל בן צוער, לזבולון אליאב בן חילון, לבני יוסף, לאפרים אלישמע בן עמיהוד, למנשה גמליאל בן פרצור, לבנימין אבידן בן גדעוני, לדן אחיעזר בן עמישדי, לאשר פגיאל בן אחרן, לגד אליסף בן דאואל, לנפתלי אחירה בן עינן, אלה קרואי העדה, נשיאי מטות אבותם, ראשי אלפי ישראל הם.
Put your tongue in.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Nasan Lanu Torah Emet V'Kayei Olam Natzah B'Tzotenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Nosein HaTorah.
Amen. Ya'amad Chatan Bar Mitzvah Yaakov ben Aaron Shlicha Hazak Misha Berachad Zin Avram Yisrael Yaakov Yivarachet Matityahu ben Chaim Aber Shalom ben Amalkam Otero ben Bar Mitzvah Schayda Baruch Shbrei V'Atzam V'Tzam V'Tzar V'Nagam V'Nagam Brachman Shalom V'Masif V'Kol Yisrael Chavana Mar. Amen. Misha Berachad Zin Avram Yaakov Yivarachet Matityahu ben Chaim Ve'et
My mother?
Yeah.
Shoshana.
Shoshana bat her father.
Oh, sure.
What's his English name? That's Shoshana. Ve'ez, anyone else? It's called as Banov,
My mother?
Ubnaisav,
Mother's
Bavur, Shabulineder, Yitin Litzdaka, Bavuram.
Morris.
Morris.
That's Shoshana bas Moshe. Morris. It's called Mishpachta, it's called Akol HaKodesh HaZeh B'Zvah, Schayza Baruch Yish, Bavur Shabulineder, Yitin Litzdaka, Bavuram. Schayza Baruch Yish, V'rei V'yatzleim, Kol Tzorah V'tzugom, Nagom Achla, V'yishlach Bracha V'atzlacha B'chol Ma'aseh Yadav. Mikol Yisrael Lecha V'neimar, Amen.
Amen.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
ויקח משה ואהרון את הנשים האלה אשר נקבו בשמות ואת כל העדה הקהילו באחד לחודש השני ויתיילדו על משפחותם לבית אבותם במספר שמות מבין 20 שנה ומעלה לגלגל אותם כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה ויפקדם במדבר סיני. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
Baruch.
Shakarani,
Shakarani, Yehonish, Meonish,
Alazeh.
Alazeh.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, Mazel tov, Simen tov, Simen tov, Mazel tov, Mazel tov, Simen tov, Simen tov, Mazel tov, Mazel tov, Simen tov. Yeilanu, 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 Adonai Yisrael, Yeilanu, Yeilanu, Adonai Yisrael, Yeilanu, Yeilanu, Adonai Yisrael, Yeilanu, Yeilanu, Adonai Yisrael.
It's okay. I just don't want to hurt his soul.
Simen tov, Mazel tov,
Mazel tov, Simen tov, Simen tov, Mazel tov, Mazel tov, Simen tov, Simen tov, Mazel tov, Mazel tov, Simen tov. Yeilanu, 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 Adonai Yisrael.
Bar Mitzvah. Yaakov ben Aaron, Baruchol ben Makom Teir Beschazak, Baruch Shmerei, Atzelei, Nogel Tzara V'Tzuk, Nagam Achlu V'Shla Baruch V'Asav Chomasi Adam. Yisrael Achavne Maram Mein Kad.
יסגד על ויסקדש מהירה בו ביד מדי בחירות גם למלכות ויעצמח פורקוני ויקרוב משיחי וחייר על מלך נחי תכל ביס ישראל בגול בזמן קורי ואם רמיין יש מהירה בו מבורך לא למדון על מה יהיו יסבר פשטר 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 ויסנס לזור ותלווית הלול שמי דקות שבריחו יהיה למד גול בחוז ושחוז ודוש בחוז ונחם רסד אמירון ביולמו ואמרו אמן.
Moshel, Ifnei, Bnei Yisrael, Yitzchak Moshel, Ifnei, Hila Machazikim Ba, Besomcha Meoshar, Derocheha Darchei Noam, Chol Nitivoteha Shalom, Nitivoteha Shalom. Echem Milu, Tziki Al Tele Biyade.
Close it.
Hold it.
No, put it. Yeah.
The Ashri, continue on 66. Turn it a little bit. Lean it on your shoulder. Amen.
Hey, say shalom Yisrael, Moriah shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. He sang it.
Here. The women want to kiss the Torah, please.
Yes. Please come, ladies.
Okay, come. Eric. I can't stand it in the snow. No, enough.
Huh? Yeah. Whether I don't want to school of the domain, Carol, Peter Matthias. למען החי ונרד אמונו שולם בוחמן וסדין אלי הינו בקשו תפלו חלינו יש דמי איתנו עדינו יבוא וחסמי בשולים מסגד לביסקד השמירה וביות מלבוחים מוסים ומחוס ויעץ מחקו כאן וביקור ומשיחי וחייך וחייך פרטיס ישראל והכל בזמן קורים ומולאים יש שמירה ומורח לא נמצאים בה יהיה לדגור ולשדם על ביספר ויסיימון ויסנס יהיה לטוב את הביסרדות שמניקות שוברי חולייס וכל בכל ששבות ותשבחות ונחמוסו תמירות ביולו ומואמין על יסוב לרבות זמן תלמידיהן על כל תלמידי סלמידיהן ועל כל מונדוסקין ויראי זו דיבה סרונים ודיבו כל עשר ועשרי היו אינם שנורא בוחים וחיסוך רח מנחיין ריחין ומזינו רביך ופורקון ומנקון דמובין ובשמעיו ומואמין יש שומרה ומשמעים הם מולדים על כל ישראל ואימו אמן אייס אישות ממראים וביאס אישות מולדים על כל ישראל ואימו אמן
אבינו ושבח לאדון עזנו לנו יצחק
Pablo.
Who's the first?
That would be Jake. You'd go first with the speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jacob, our Bar Mitzvah today, did such a wonderful job.
Wait a minute, Robert, for a microphone. Let me give a microphone.
He's going to say a few words. If you can please take your seats and honor the Bar Mitzvah boy who worked so hard today as he shares a few important words with all of us.
Jake.
I'd like to thank all of you for attending and being here with me for this special event. It means a lot to me that you were all able to be here on this wonderful day at this place and time. Thank you to my parents for being there for me every time I needed it. I'd like to thank Rabbi Moshe Wolf for teaching me my portion of the Torah, as well as Rabbi Spalter and all the rabbis that have helped me reach this point in my life. I'd also like to thank Rabbi Mendel for giving me my first real introduction to Judaism and making Chabad feel like a home to me. Everyone here means something very special to me. Some people I've never even met, but I've heard about you, and you have a special meaning to me because you are important to my family, which means you are very important to me. Thank you to all of my friends and family for staying in touch during these times, however far away you might be. I'm so glad that I could have my bar mitzvah at this Chabad because as soon as I got to Florida, this is the Chabad I've been going to for bar mitzvah practice and camp. Coming from New York, I never could have imagined being here on this day and time with all of you. It's just wonderful that me and my family were able to escape that life in New York and live here in a much more beautiful place. It's truly a miracle. My My Torah portion is about how God told Moses to count every individual Jew while our people were wandering in the desert after we escaped from slavery in Egypt. God told Moses to count all our people, basically to have a census of how many were alive and present at that time. This was also meant to be the beginning of the creation of a standing army, so that once the Jews arrived in the land of Canaan, we would have a way of protecting and defending our Jewish land. God told Moses that all of the able-bodied men above the age of 20 should serve in this army. To me, this parsha, or Torah portion, means that God believed that every single person was important enough to be counted. This is very consistent with our beliefs as Jews, that every Jew is important no matter who they are, what their job is, or what accomplishments they have had in life. In the eyes of God, we are all equal. I also look at this Torah portion not only as being counted in a physical army with guns and missiles, but also being counted towards God's spiritual army. No matter who we are as people, we are all part of God's army in some way. This means that we all have a role to God in the world and represent God and his teachings by living a moral life and following God's commandments. We must follow God's teaching and God's laws no matter how old or what our current situation in life is. If it wasn't for this first census and counting of our people and the creation of God's first army, then we wouldn't have the same defense force and country of Israel that we do today. To conclude, I really want to thank all of you for being here with me today, whether in person or on Zoom and YouTube. Everyone here is very meaningful and counts to me, just like everyone counts in the eyes of God. Thanks again, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the week.
I'd like to take a moment to just wish a hearty mazel tov to you, Jake. I had to, and to, of course, your parents, to Eric and Carol and the whole family. I had a great privilege to, I want to take this opportunity also to wish a hearty mazel tov to the proud grandmother. You should have much nachas from him and all your other grandchildren. And I know you do. You should live many, many healthy, long years. I had the privilege this year to teach Jake the Bar Mitzvah Club. I took great pleasure in sitting with the 5 or 6 kids every Sunday and preparing them. And he's a very inquisitive, smart boy. And I want to just share a word with you to follow and echo what you just said regarding the significance of your portion that you read just now, which is about how God counted the Jewish people. I want to share with you, and I want you to listen to this, Jay, because this is extremely relevant and important in your life, as it is in every one of us, and everyone listening, especially in today's day and age. What is the significance of counting something? The question is, why count the Jewish people? Does God need that? He knows how many we are. He knows how many Jews there are with Moses counting them, without us counting them. He knows everything. He's omniscient. So why does he need us to go through this process of counting? The answer is because God wanted us to know that we are counted. Why? There's an interesting halacha. Let me share with you some Jewish law. What happens if something is, we're not allowed to eat something that's not kosher, correct? We all know that. Something that's not kosher you can't eat. What happens if something that's not kosher gets mixed into something that's kosher? In a pot, you mixed a little bit of non-kosher meat with kosher meat. Somehow it got mixed in. Does the whole pot have to be thrown out? What's the law? If a little tiny piece of non-kosher fish falls into a huge pot of kosher dish, the whole thing has to go out? Maybe not. So the answer is very simple. The halacha is that if you can taste a non-kosher item in the rest of the food, then the whole thing is non-kosher, because it spread the taste. That means it's there and you have to get rid of it. But if you can, it's such a small amount that it's overpowered by the kosher substance, then you don't have to throw the whole thing out. And how did the rabbis measure this? 1 to 60. If there's 60 at times as much kosher as the non-kosher item, so if it's 1 to 60, the whole thing is kosher. You don't have to throw it out, because the Torah was very concerned about Jewish money. To start telling people throw out because a mistake like that happens is not so easy to tell us. It's money. It costed people to buy that meat or fish or whatever item it was. So the Torah is very kind. 1 to 60 is still kosher. 1 to 59 or lower, the whole mixture has got to be thrown out. But here's an exception to that rule. This is only if the item that's not kosher is something that's not counted. What do I mean by that? When you go to the store and you buy tomatoes, how do you buy tomatoes? A pound of tomatoes, right? It goes by the pound. How do you buy eggs? It goes by the dozen. That means you're counting each one individual. Eggs are counted. 12, 24, 36, they go by them. So if a non-kosher egg falls into 1,000 if a non-kosher egg falls into 1,000 kosher eggs, the whole thing is out. It has to be thrown out. Why? Because something that's counted cannot be canceled in the majority. You understand? So that's the beauty of being counted. That means when you're counted, you can never be nullified in the majority. Even if you're 1 to 1,000, 1 to 1,000,000. If it's an item that's counted, it becomes so important. And even if it's mixed into 1,000,000, it's never considered null and nullified, and it always maintains its importance. And once it's important in there, it's a non-kosher substance, you can't eat it. That's what the counting is. You should know, Jake, and every one of us, a Jew is counted. God counted us more than once. That means when you're going to be, we live in a world that we're outnumbered vastly in this world, right? On your block, how many Jews are on your block? There's a lot more non-Jews than Jews. When you're going to go to school, how many Jews are, well, you go to a Jewish school. But when you go to college, which is a good thing, when you go to college, how many Jews are going to be on college campus with you? And how many non-Jews are going to be there?
Not that many Jews.
Well, I hope there'll be a lot, so you can have a lot of interactions and social interaction with other Jews. But the chances are that you're going to be a minority, a small minority. Always remember your Bar Mitzvah portion. You are counted. And when you're counted, you're never nullified in the majority. You always maintain your importance. You always maintain your stature. You always maintain, I am a person, I'm one. You know what? Moses, you would think Moses, if we're going to start counting people, Moses would count that at least 20, right? He's so much more important, such a holy man. Moses counted as one. And you count as one. No, when you start counting people, everyone becomes equally important. Why? Because we're counting your soul. We're not counting your accomplishments. If we were counting accomplishments, Moses would be much more than one, and perhaps we would be less than one. But we're not counting accomplishments. We're counting potential. We're counting the soul. The soul of everyone is equal. So you always have to remember those 2 points. I am as important as everyone else, no matter what I accomplished in life, and my accomplishments stand as an important entity to its own. No one can cancel me out. I'm never nullified in the majority. No matter how big that majority is, you should always stand tall. As a Jew, remember that you are counted. And when you're counted, you're important from the day you're born to the day you go to the next world, God willing, when you're 120. And maybe never, because Mashiach will come before that. Mazel tov, and remember you are counted. And you count. Mazel tov to all of you. Carol, come right up.
Hello, I want to welcome all of our guests to Jake's Bar Mitzvah. Special thanks to our in-town family, my brother who came from Davie, and my nephew Justin who came from Weston to Weston. Thank you to my mom, Ann Taub, who at 94 years of age is here today with her lovely aide. We are so thrilled that she can be here and realize none of this would be possible without her. My beautiful friends here, I'm so happy you joined us. We're happy to be celebrating with all the Rish family and all our friends joining us virtually on this special day. So normally the mother of the Bar Mitzvah boy starts her speech by thanking her husband for all his support. but we really know it's the mother who did everything. Well, that is not the case. I want to thank Eric for all you have done to help plan this day. It's really a shared effort, and I'm so grateful in the midst of all that's going on. You have been a real partner in planning this day and every day in our family life. By the time we get to his wedding, we'll be all set. Thank you, Rabbi Spalter and Leah, for welcoming us to our family to the Chabad when we were guests, and again as members when we moved to Florida. As you know, Jake has enjoyed spending every summer at camp here because of your warmth, and we are forever grateful for your kindness over the years. Rabbi Moshe Wolf, thank you for your devotion to the Torah, love of teaching, and patience with Jake. Today is a special day for our family, and I have waited for this day when our son will read from the Torah. When Rabbi Spalter talked about having Eric open the Torah for Jake as a symbol of passing our faith to the next generations, I teared up. Although I would not call myself religious, my culture really matters to me. It always has, and I cannot think of a greater blessing than to one day have Jewish grandchildren. I have raised Jake to know that God has a presence in his life, and I believe he feels this way. He studies at a Jewish school, instilling the values of a Jewish household, our connection to God, and the bond of the Jewish people. These moments carry so much weight because of the history and culture we carry with us to our children, so I thought I would share some thinking about Jewish sayings. So my knowledge of Yiddish is limited to the words my mother has taught me. Her parents spoke it regularly in front of her, but it was a private language. There are certain expressions in Yiddish that play out interestingly ways if you think about them a little deeper. A favorite expression is kinehora, for which of those that don't know, it's a magical phrase to ward off the evil eye. If you say anything positive, usually how much we love our lives or love our children, it's followed by the obligatory kinehora. It keeps us humble in the face of God, never to be bold in our expression of gratitude for the beautiful things in our lives, and always be aware of the imminent loss that can be just around the corner. Although my mother did not speak Yiddish to me, I believe she has lived her life through this expression. She has always pushed us forward to achieve highly. Many people would ask her how she did it and praise her for raising 2 doctors as children who, by any measure, would be considered successful, and her response is always a humble one. Even when my mother does not say it out loud, I've always known her pride in me, my husband, and my brother's accomplishments. This, to me, is the same as the expression kinehora. Never be so bold to think that it is your doing, your accomplishment, but be humble before God. And different as my mother and Eric mothers are, they're typical Jewish mothers in many of the same ways. Always grateful for the good things, but wary of the evil that lurks behind the good things that happen. We must never forget that Jews were fully assimilated in European culture, finally included in society just before the Holocaust. We cannot forget that anti-Semitism can rear its ugly head anytime, anywhere, and we must stick together as people. As many of you here know, my father, Herman Taub, passed in 2015, and his brother, my uncle, Mel Taub, recently passed as well. This is a reminder of why it is so important to embrace these moments we have to celebrate our children, our parents, our friends, and our traditions among those who we love the most in the world. I am grateful that we have made it to this day with Eric's parents, Alan and Sydney, and my mom, Ann, with us. We pay respect to our father, Herman Taub, who has passed. I also humbly recognize that there are many here with us who have not had this blessing, have had to celebrate this very important moment without those they love the most. One of my favorite theorists, sorry it's long, talks about the idea of foreboding joy. She says that joy is the most valuable emotion we experience. She says when something good happens, our immediate thought is that we'd better not let ourselves truly feel it, because if we love something, we could lose it. So we shut down our ability to completely enjoy it so that we can also shut down our capacity for feeling loss. Is it possible to fully embrace and experience our joy without fear? Is pain and fear necessary? I believe that life experiences cause pain, and each time you overcome that pain, you grow stronger. Each time you help another person, the act of kindness enriches your own life even more than the other person's. Jake's Torah portion is about how saving one life is the same as saving all humanity. Eric and I are both physicians who understand that saving a life is everything to the patient and their family, but I also see how it is an enrichment of myself. It becomes so important because it defines me. I am told that at the heart of Judaism is to serve God with joy, and not only to be happy, but to cause others to be happy. So maybe the whole kinehora thing is just superstition. I also think of it with Jake. When he was born, I had never felt that love before in my life. This profound love that completely overwhelmed me and made me feel so fearful of losing at the same time. In the midst of the few naps I could achieve, I found a peace I never knew before. My family felt complete, and I was so grateful for my healthy baby boy. Well, our little Jake was the happiest, sweetest, and most accident-prone baby ever. As he grew, so did his fearless thirst for knowledge, and I love watching his inquisitive mind at work. To this day, he has an amazing knack for chess, and I am humbled by his unending curiosity and depth of knowledge. Jake pushes all limits, both physically and mentally. If you know him, you know what I mean. He taught himself gravity-defying flips, fearlessly leaps off buildings, trees, rooftops, throwing caution to the wind. My heart stops with each death-defying leap, but I let him work hard to test his physical limits and achieve his goals. Interestingly, these feats were never the ones that landed him in the surgeon's office each year on the day after Thanksgiving. But true to form, Jake is here with a sling on his shoulder today. Jake is a joy to be with, and from a very young age, we knew he was a loving, affectionate child. I remember when he was only a few weeks old, and our nanny at the time said in her Jamaican accent, "That's some hot there." He gave kisses and hugs. He would wake up in the morning without a word, would climb on my lap and cuddle. He still does this. Each evening before bed, there are hugs and goodnight kisses for me and Eric, because he also knows how important giving love is. Jake, you have more courage than most. You never give up on your dreams, and you encourage all of us not to give up on ours. You are a wonderful friend, loving grandson, amazing son, who brings incredible joy to both me and Daddy. We are so proud of all you accomplished, your creativity, your ingenuity, your character, your unending thirst for knowledge, and your kindness. So it is with complete humility that I boast about my sweet little boy, who we have all come together to celebrate today. I understand the Jewish practice of humility during happy occasions, but I equally understand the importance of embracing the moment of great love and happiness and taking the moment to give thanks for the blessings that surround us. Kinahora.
Hi, everybody. I'm Eric. First of all, Carol's not only a physician, she's also a writer, so this might not be as eloquent. I think what she said is very important right now, especially with everything going on in Israel right now. So I just wanted to say our hearts and prayers are with our Israeli brothers and sisters right now. So hi, everybody tuning in via YouTube and Zoom. Thank you all for being here today. For those of you who don't know exactly where we are, we're in a city called Weston, which is about 20 minutes or 20 miles, I guess, from Fort Lauderdale. Just wanted to say to Jake's grandparents, Alan and Sydney Risch, Ann Taub, Jake's late grandfather, Herman Taub, Jake's loving uncles, Mitch and Matt, aunts, cousins, dear friends, Rabbi Spalter, Rabbi Wolf, thank you for sharing this special occasion with us today, where Jake becomes a man by the laws of the Jewish religion. These certainly are strange times, but I think that we're almost through it, and we're really looking forward to the day when we can all be together with our family and friends again. I'd like to give a special thank you to my wife, Carol, Jake's mom, for everything she has done to make this possible today, including being an intelligent and successful role model for Jake to have as a mother, and for deciding to move us to Florida from New York so we could have a better life here. Jake, congratulations. You did a great job today. I hope you know how proud of you Mom and I are, not just for how you did with your bar mitzvah today, but for the man you are becoming. But first, a few sayings from you, Jake, to give everyone a better idea of how your mind works. Interestingly, most of these unique comments come right as you're about to fall asleep. Dad, I figured out how to keep people alive forever. Just put them in the living room. Nobody dies in the living room. Dad, before I go to sleep tonight, I need to know how many hairs are on the human head. I don't know if I can sleep tonight if I don't know the answer. I must know this. One night as I was complaining about something work-related, Dad, you have to learn to live in the moment and be happy with what you have in front of you and not worry about the future, something you have no control over. Trust me. After losing a flag football game, 38-0, where you played your heart out, Dad, let's go. I did all I could out there, but we never had a chance. It doesn't matter, though. It was worth it. Now let's go. You owe me a Happy Meal. Dad, does anything keep its value no matter what happens to the economy? Me. I can't think of anything. Jake. Yes, black opal. Black opal will never lose its value. And the radioactive element californium, of course. I want you to know that having you as my son and having you in my life, you have made me a better and more fulfilled person. You have reminded me to stop and enjoy life by reconnecting with the boy inside me. And just like the boy inside me got hurt a few days before my bar mitzvah, with Bubby rushing me to get emergent lip surgery, you also just got hurt this past Tuesday playing your hardest in flag football. It just shows how you put your heart and soul into everything you do. As life goes by, we all get caught up in our daily lives with work, school, extracurricular activities, and so it becomes easy to forget life's simple pleasures. You have shown me how important it is to stop and smell the roses, as they say. The way you approach the world is the way I think many of us adults sometimes lose sight of, which is why watching you grow up has been such a privilege for me and Mom. Besides for your sharp intelligence, which you got from Mom, of course, Baruch Hashem, I want you to know that you have talents and qualities that are invaluable for your life now and will be in the future if you just stay true to yourself. Growing up in New York, I watched as you developed a love for nature during our times upstate in Putnam Valley. There you learned to fish, build, climb, and you truly became connected to nature and developed a sense of confidence in yourself. When you got to Florida, those skills translated into your awards in parkour and flag football, your rope tree house you and your cousin Justin built in the backyard, and the small farm you've created with bananas and sugarcane. It's not always easy to move to a different location when you're young. However, I'm watching you grow up here and your successes here in Florida since we moved from New York, and I see you're thriving. You've developed a great group of friends here. You've connected with your Florida cousins, Alina, Justin, Jayla, Nyla, Aiden, Uncle Matt, and of course your 94-year-old grandmother here. You've also stayed close to your California cousins, Mike and Eli, Uncle Mitchell, and Aunt Jessica, and of course your grandparents there, Bubby and Papa. Overall, you're becoming an all-around, well-rounded, and mature young man. I have to tell you, your intelligence really blows me away. You have an ability to explain simple concepts to me in physics, science, and math that I should know, but seem to have forgotten, even though I took all these courses in college. And of course, I stopped long ago trying to beat you in chess because you're too good for me, and it's getting frustrating hearing, "It's okay, Dad," at the end of every game. You are also the only person I've ever known that can tell me the value of any coin based on what year it's from and where it was minted. I have to be honest and tell you there were a few moments in life I never would have gotten through if you hadn't been there with me. The first of these moments was hiking in the Golan Heights during our 2019 trip to Israel with Papa Alan, Bubby Sidney, Uncle Mitch, Aunt Jessica, and cousins Mike and Eli. Obviously, you know what I'm talking about, during our hiking in the Golan Heights, rappelling down those rocky cliffs. There's no way I would have been able to go down those cliffs if I hadn't seen you and your cousins fearlessly plunging off the side of that mountain. The adults in the group sort of just let you guys go first, and I guess we were just hoping for the best. If I hadn't seen you and your cousins go with such fearlessness, I never would have been able to do that. In deciding if I should go, if I should turn back or go forward, I saw you look at me very casually, smile, and then take the plunge. At that point, you gave me confidence to follow you down. Moment number 2, mission to space, Disney World. You know what I'm talking about on this one. I know it sounds silly, but you know I am somewhat claustrophobic. As soon as that capsule closed in on us and we were preparing to take off, I had a panic attack, as I know you realized when you looked at my pale white face. True, my face is always pale and white, but this time it was even worse. If it wasn't for your calm and cool demeanor, you're holding my hand and telling me, "Dad, everything is going to be okay," I never would have made it. To space and back, I guess. Those are just 2 small examples of many of how you've impressed me with your level-headedness and maturity that I'll never forget, and you continue to show me in other ways in your daily life. Sometimes when I think the worst of a situation, you give me a look, tell me some small words, or show me with your actions, like you did in that space capsule and rappelling down those cliffs, and I know everything is going to be okay. But I would now like to give you a few words of advice that my father, who's here with us today via Zoom, told me growing up that has helped me through life. Do what you think is right, not what others do. And work hard, play hard. Growing up, Papa always told me and Uncle Mitchell this, and I think he and I are better men for it today. Right, Mitchell? You already seem to be living by these mottos with the way you approach life. Just never lose sight of this. I wish I could freeze time at this age you're at forever. I know a lot of parents say that, but this is truly a special time you're at right now. But I can't freeze time, and you're going to grow up, travel through life, and have many adventures and go on and do great things. I know you're going to continue to be the bright, shining star that you are, while lifting up and inspiring everyone around you with your sense of adventure, fearlessness, and positive attitude. But no matter what you decide to do in life, what career path you choose, where you live or who you live with, within reason, I'll always love you no matter what. I'm your proud dad, now and always.
Mazel tov, mazel tov.
Mine's a little bit shorter. I'm a little bit more short and sweet and to the point. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Justin Taub, and I am Jake's first cousin on his mom's side. So thank you all for being here with us to celebrate this special day for Jake. I just had a couple of words I'd like to share to Jake to tell him how much he means to me and share a little bit about how I see him in my life. First off, I'd like to say Mazal Tov to Jake Reish. Jake is my first cousin and the only first cousin that I've got. Over the past couple years, we've grown a lot closer. We've laughed, cried, jacuzzied, and flipped on the trampoline many, many times. Jake is in 7th grade. However, he is mentally much more advanced than that. He knows the distance from the Earth to the sun and moon. He can count in millions up to 10, and he can recite all of Newton's laws of thermodynamics like it's the back of his hand. Jake, in essence, is a 13-year-old Albert Einstein. He inspires me every day to push myself to my physical and mental limits. Jake, I will never forget building a treehouse out of rope in your backyard or doing backflips on the trampolines every weekend. On this special day, known as your Bar Mitzvah, I want you to remember to always be open to curiosity and question the way that things are. As a Bar Mitzvah boy, you are now given the responsibility of adulthood, and with it, all of its trials and tribulations. When your cup is empty, the world of amazement becomes a permanent reality. Stay true to yourself and remember that there are always multiple correct truths. Mazal Tov to Jake, aka Kufrog, and I can't wait to see what is in store for you in the future. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Very nice. Mazel tov.
I need you, I need them, I need
Eric, they need us to say goodbye on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Okay, guys, stay with you.
Yes.
Come this way. Pablo, over here. Let's round the switch. No, mira. Ah, sí, para el otro lado eres. Van a estar ahí atrás. Ahí.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now we can see you and hear you on YouTube. And I'm going to allow people to unmute themselves on Zoom so they can.
Hola.
All right.
Can we hear them?
If they can unmute themselves now.
Hi guys, how are you?
Speak clearly.
Oh, you guys can unmute yourself if you'd like to. Everybody can hear?
Hi.
Hey.
There you go.
Thank you all for being here with us.
Congratulations. We love you.
Love you too.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Love you. Congratulations.
Thank you all for joining us today.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
It was excellent, just
Hi, guys.
wonderful.
I just want to say thank you so much.
Can't hear.
Oh.
I mean, you got, they're just
Now you-
marvelous.
now you can.
So wonderful.
Now you can talk.
To hear Jake and what he did in his Bible and their speeches were so, I thought, so inspiring for me.
Thank you.
Both Jake's and the parents' speeches were just so inspiring.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it. And we wish you were all here with us, but maybe someday soon.
We're very sorry we couldn't make it. We hope to be there in a few weeks. My back is thinking slowly.
Wonderful.
We loved everything. We loved Jake's performance, and we loved your speech.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful, just
Great.
wonderful.
Thank you.
And the Hebrew just.
He did a great job. We're very proud.
And Carol, your speech.
Thank
Carol,
you.
All of you, all three of you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. I'm so privileged and honored to be part of this day with you guys.
Oh.
I wish I could be there.
Love you,
know.
Nicole.
So beautiful. Jake, you did a great job.
Thank you.
We love you.
We'll see you guys soon, hopefully in the near future.
Jake, that was amazing. And Eric and Carol, everybody's words.
You're
I'm just
speechless.
repeating what everybody said, but
You're speechless.
I was so
You're still
inspired by
talking.
just everything that everybody said.
Thank you.
And I
Thank
agree
you.
with Sydney. Yeah, and your Hebrew, Jake, like
rocked
Sydney
it.
said, impeccable.
Thank you.
Impeccable.
What a great ceremony, everybody.
Thank
Congratulations,
you.
Jake.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we really want to see everybody
Carol,
soon.
you made me cry.
Oh, really?
I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but
Definitely a compliment.
okay, well, thank you.
Jake, I only have a few words for you, and that is, do what you think is right, not what others want you to do, and always study hard, and then you can play hard.
I said it. I said work hard, play hard.
Heard that before.
You like that?
Oh, no, yeah.
I think that's a rich motto.
It is.
Follow your own path. Do you first.
Yeah.
Do you first. Work hard, then play hard.
Right.
In
Right.
that order.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just like
Because
really.
Jeremy's made his own path, and Jake, you'll definitely make your own path, and I'm sure it's going to be as wonderful as your mother and father's paths have been.
Sounds like you did have to be out of jumping out of something.
An astronaut.
Hey, when are we jumping out of an airplane?
Well,
In Africa.
he's that shoulder's got to heal now. That just happened on Tuesday.
Oh. Just and be sure to invite me when you guys jump out of the airplane, because I want to be there.
We're gonna send you all the link so you can watch the Zoom over and over again if you want to after the ceremony. So.
Uppy and Mitchell jumped out of the airplane. Eric and I were smarter. We with Dolly on the ground, right, Eric?
Dolly.
I'm really focused.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they're not showing us anymore. And a lot of those other people are.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to seeing it.
You're trying to give you congratulations, but you know how these families do it. So in case you can't hear us,
Oh.
we'll text you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Say, I could not believe that you are as agile reading Hebrew as you are climbing and scaling every rock, wall, tree, and everything I've seen you since you were in Biddy. I cannot believe how your voice and your look has gotten so much older in just a year's time. You're stunning inside and out.
Oh,
And
Thank you.
I hope you soaked in the beautiful tributes that your mom and dad gave you, because of all of what they said about you was true, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you,
Thank you
Jessica.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us.
We'll see you guys soon, hopefully, here or Zoom or in California or Utah. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye.
And we're